I know that for me, in order to have pleasure, there's like certain temperatures I like. And we've talked about certain things in the last few episodes. So we've talked about sexual exciters, sexual inhibitors. A lot of these episodes have been absolutely, they have been inspired by Emily Nagoski. So I just want to put that out there in her work. And so sexual inhibitors, sexual exciters, such important work. And there's a lot of research done on that as well. And you may be having things going on in your life where internally you're just not feeling like turned on. Yes, there may be hormonal things going on as well. But aside from that, there are other factors, right? So when we look at what is pleasure, it's like what excites your body, what excites your being, what not just excites and has your body have arousal, but what gets you feeling turned on emotionally, spiritually, like what has you feeling like alive and that you are excited, that in terms of sexual activity, that you actually feel ready. And when you feel pleasure, that doesn't mean that your body will show signs of arousal. So this is for people out there whose genitals do not respond to what's going on internally. So if internally you're feeling, oh, there's so much pleasure, like this feels so good, and then you're like, how come my vulva is like dry? How come my vagina is dry? Why is my vulva not like swelling? What's happening? Nothing's responding. Or if you have a penis, then it's like, why is my penis not erect? If you have a combination of things, then you might be like, why is nothing responding? Yet internally, you're like, I'm so turned on. This person is so exciting. They're so like everything that would have me want to have sex is there. I got the pleasure, I got the desire, but I don't have the arousal. So if you can have that, guess what? You can have the other. You can have the arousal without the desire and without the pleasure. And recently I heard somebody on a long drive, we were talking about relationships and things, and one of the things that came up was like the desire to be desired. And I was like, oh, wait a second, that is like a whole bigger conversation. Because if you think that your partner's genital response is an indicator of desire, no, it's not. It's just plain and simple. It's not. Your partner's genital arousal, whether it's showing that it's like, oh, look, you have an erection, or look, you're wet. Like everybody can get hard and wet. That doesn't mean they're turned on. It just means your body has the ability to be aroused. That's it. And again, we will talk about that definition of arousal. So what brings you pleasure? What gets your body turned on? And it can be food, smells, touch, taste, anything. It's usually something that is activating our senses. And we definitely have more than 5, but we usually talk about only 5. But we have many, many senses, and we can use those senses in ways to connect with people and ways to bring and enliven our pleasure for sure. So I am creating a masterclass specifically on pleasure, through connection and pleasure through utilizing our senses, not just our 5, but our multiple range of senses. In order to have greater pleasure, in order to have greater connection. And it doesn't mean that you're going to have necessarily genital arousal, but how cool would it be to just have your body feeling really alive?